So, what are some stocks that are on sale? So, the first stock is Amazon, Lilly, CRM, Apple, TSM, Meta, Google, Alibaba, Nvidia, Qualcomm, NVS, Visa, AMD, MasterCard, PayPal, Nike, Tesla, McDonald's, and Disney. But going over the first couple of stocks that reported earnings today, uh, Google reported earnings today. They actually beat. They did good on earnings. They beat their earnings per share, and they did really good beating their revenue expectations. Tesla, on the other hand, they missed expectations on their earnings per share, but they did good on beating expectations for their revenue. But after hours, they're down like 7.77%. And then, Google is down 2.19% after hours. Visa today reported their earnings. They beat their earnings per shares expectations and they missed their revenue expectations. And after hours, they're down 3.17%. I won't talk about most of the stocks on this list, but just going over these three stocks that I just talked about right now. So the first one is Tesla. So they reported earnings, right? Um, you know, well, I would personally trade Tesla now that, earnings is over, right, for them. Possibly we could see a little bit to, Tesla, face a little bit more downside, right? So a personal entry point that I'm looking out for is, Tesla to touch the 20-day moving average. And looking at the after hours, it looks like it's way past the 20-day moving average. So we could possibly see Tesla touch the 180 or 200-day moving average, depending on how the other, companies report their earnings. And so then, what is it? Which one? Which one? Google, right? So right now, after hours, it's 177, right? The 50-day moving average reads, that it's at 178, right? And so I feel like if, Google decides to go past the 50-day moving average, right? Or it tries to maintain itself above the 50-day moving average, a personal entry point would be around the 50-day moving average. So around 178 or 177. And then, if Google decides to crash down, I would be on the lookout for to see if it could touch 180, the 180-day moving average, or the 200-day moving average. Okay, and the last stock that I talked about is Visa, right? Visa today it touched the 200-day moving average, right? But looking at their after hours right now, it's at 256. So looking at Visa on the weekly, um, I feel like maybe just seeing that right now the 9-day moving average crossed over the 20-day moving average, we could possibly see maybe, or possibly, Visa go down below the 200-day moving average, so it could eventually touch the 180 or 200-day moving average in these couple of days. So a personal entry point that I'm looking to get into Visa is around the 247 level. And if it maintains itself, above the 50-day moving average, I'll get into an entry point around the 50-day moving average. Okay, and let's look at some stocks that are reporting earnings. So Amazon is reporting earnings. I would honestly, stay away from, Amazon for right now. So, what about Lilly? Lilly is reporting earnings on August 8th. Mm, I would stay away from Lilly for right now. What about CRM? CRM, I would probably trade it for a bit, like a quick trade and get out before earnings approaches. So CRM reports earnings around August 28th. or September 2nd. Apple is reporting earnings on August 1st. And what's it called? I would stay away from Apple right now, personally. TSM, they're oh wait, did they report earnings today or what? Oh no, they already reported earnings. So TSM, if it touches a personal entry point that I would get into TSM would be around the 50-day moving average. So personal entry point would be around the 167 level. And then if TSM decides to crash down a little further, I would look at a next entry point around the 160 level. And then you got Meta reporting earnings on July 31st. Honestly, I would stay away from Meta right now until they report earnings. Google, yeah, I already talked about Google, but if it maintains itself above the 50-day moving average, I'll get into a personal entry point where, if Google touches the 50-day moving average. Uh, Alibaba, when are they reporting earnings? August 8th or August 12th? I would stay away from Alibaba for right now, but yeah. Nvidia, they're reporting earnings. This one I would like trade for the short term and then sell out before earnings comes out. Uh, but a personal entry point that I would be interested in getting into Nvidia would be around the 50-day moving average. Uh, Qualcomm, they're reporting their earnings on July 31st, so not touching that right now. NVS, so it looks like NVS already reported earnings. So me personally, I would wait to see if NVS touches the 50-day moving average and see if it bounces off the 50-day moving average as confirmation to the upside. But that's a personal entry point I'm looking out for to see if NVS touches the 50-day moving average. Visa, already talked about Visa. Let's say if Visa can maintain itself, like recoup the losses from after hours and see if it can maintain itself, above the 200-day moving average. If it doesn't, a personal entry point I'm looking out for would be around, I don't, until it gets above the 200-day, I mean, sorry, until it gets above the 50-day moving average, that's when I would enter into a personal position of Visa. For now, no. Uh, AMD is reporting earnings on the 30th of this month, so I would stay away from AMD right now. Uh, MasterCard, they're reporting earnings. It looks like the effect or the earnings of Visa affected MasterCard in a way. After hours, they're down 1.97%. I would honestly wait until, you know, MasterCard reports earnings. Maybe if they do good on earnings, we could possibly see Visa jumped, jump to the upside. But for now, I feel like Visa is going to keep declining after more companies start reporting more earnings. Uh, PayPal, they report earnings on the 31st of this month or August 5th. I would stay away from PayPal right now. Um, yeah, I would stay away from PayPal. Nike reported earnings. Personal entry point I would make into Nike would be if it touches the 9-day moving average. And if it goes below the 9-day moving average, the next entry point would be around mm, the 71.60 level. That's another entry point I would get into Nike. Tesla reported earnings. I would only get into Tesla if it can maintain itself above the 20-day moving average. And if Tesla decides to, decline more as more companies start reporting their earnings, another personal entry point I would look out for would be the 180-day or the 200-day moving average. McDonald's is reporting earnings on the 29th of this month. I would just honestly wait, to be honest. And a personal entry point would be if, if McDonald's can maintain itself around the 248, 247 level, that would be a personal entry point I would get into McDonald's. The next personal entry point would be somewhere around uh yeah, 247 or 248 really. And then you got Disney. Disney right now, they're declining. I feel like right now, a personal entry point would be where it's at right now at 90. And if it keeps falling further, Disney, I would look into the 84 level as a personal entry point. And they're reporting earnings on August 7th. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the stocks that are on sale. Honestly, most of these stocks I would just wait to see if they do good on earnings or wait until earnings pass by. That's why I haven't been like day trading as much. I do have some positions open, but what is it? I think I'm in Visa. No, not Visa, but Starbucks and AMD. I'm gonna see if AMD and Starbucks flips, and if it does, then I'll just exit out those positions before earnings approaches. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, you guys had a good day of trading. And other than that, as if you guys want to learn a paper trade, you can sign up with my Webull link in the description, and Webull will let you paper trade, with fake money, and you can practice your own strategy. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys have a good day or a good night whenever you're seeing this. As always, I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye.